vulnerable people that are in vulnerable situations. So each country, human trafficking varies from country to country. And not only does it vary, but the severity of it varies. So, and what I'm trying to say is, like, for example, poverty in America versus poverty in a third world country will never. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Angel Savage, and today we're going to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart, mainly because it's something that I went through. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys the causes of human trafficking. Okay, so I'm getting this information from centerofglobalimpact.org. So if you want to, know that the information that I'm giving out to you guys, I will definitely link the website down below. Now, everything that I'm going to reiterate is going to be exactly from the website. Okay, it's getting hot. Okay, so first things first. A lot of people don't even know what human trafficking is. So human trafficking, it varies from country to country. And usually it's vulnerable people that are in vulnerable situations. So each country, human trafficking varies from country to country. And not only does it vary, but the severity of it varies. So, and what I'm trying to say is, like, for example, poverty in America versus poverty in a third world country will never be exactly the same. Someone in poverty in America can go get a McDonald's sandwich, but someone in poverty in another country might not be able to get a McDonald's sandwich. I have nothing against McDonald's either. These are people that are very vulnerable, and they're also in very precious situations, okay? So I'm saying precious situations because the situations also vary, just like the country does. You could be someone, and I'm gonna list 4 main causes of why people go through human trafficking. So go ahead and just read this off of my laptop. What causes human trafficking? Human trafficking varies from country to country, but usually preys on vulnerable situations. People in vulnerable and precarious situations are looking for a way out in their desperation. So people are looking for a way out of their desperation. So they get preyed on by the human traffickers. We see this a lot in multiple circumstances. For example, here are 4 scenarios of conditions or realities people may be fleeing from. Number 1, living in a place of poverty, like I said. Okay, so many victims want to get out of their situation, so they risk everything to leave that place, and just because of the mere poverty that they're going through. This gives the human traffickers bait to lure victims into a different country. You don't want to be lured into another country where you have no resources, no assets, no anything. Okay, so traffickers lie, promising job stability, and in order to recruit their victims, upon arrival to another state, region, or country, the captors take control, and more than often, they are not held in places where victims did not want to make their home. Okay, so you think you're going to another country, and guess what? You're gonna be in this nice mansion? No, boo, you're probably not. You're probably gonna be living on the streets. The practice of entrusting poor children to more affluent friends or relatives may create vulnerability. Some parents sell their children not just for money, but in hopes that their children may escape poverty and have a better life and more opportunities, okay? So human trafficking is not just, the girl that you see on the street that's selling her body. It's way deeper than that. It deals with the social economics of the individual as well. Okay, so number 2, political conditions. Political instability, militarism, generalized violence, or civil unrest can result in an increase in trafficking as well. The destabilization and scattering of populations increase their vulnerability to unfair treatment and abuse via trafficking and forced labor. So you know how we always hear about these kids in these shoe factories. I won't say no names or anything like that. That would be political, and I would have to say it's definitely social economic economics involved in that. Number 3, war. I mean, do I need to give an example? But just in case. Armed conflicts lead to massive forced displacement of people. War creates large numbers of orphans and street children who are especially vulnerable to trafficking. Their families have either passed away or are fighting a war, complicating the child rearing. You know, so it's causing them not to be able to be a normal child. And last but not least, social and cultural practices. Many societies and cultures devalue, abuse, and exploit women and girls, creating perilous living conditions for these women. With little opportunities of upward mobility and with little value aspects of respect or women's rights, they are more vulnerable to human trafficking. We see a broken world and recognize a word for Jesus to intervene in so many lives. At the Center for Global Impact, what they hope to do and pray to do for in the future is to serve people and give them freedom, give them back their dignity, allow them to fulfill their dreams, allow them to feel alive again, and also have a relationship with Christ. So next I will talk to you guys about ways that you can fight human trafficking, and I'm thinking about just doing a series talking about human trafficking. So the main things that people go through, one more time: leaving a place of poverty to gain wealth, political conditions, war, and last but not least, social and cultural practices. So sometimes families will sell their children. When people are in war, sometimes there's no one there for the child. Political conditions, and just trying to get out of your everyday. I know